Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited because I'm going to be going out of town for a few days and I'm going with my dad. My dad being retired now is a really great thing because now we can go on these little adventures and it gives me somebody to like hang out with and do weird stuff. So we have some plans where we're going to be going to Missouri, and initially I thought we were going to be taking my dad's van and doing some camping. In fact, his first camping trip in the van, but some things came up along the way, including a pretty bad situation, which I'll explain later on. But long story short, we're taking Dimples. Now, since we're taking Dimples, I need to put some things back in the van, like my med kit and then my toolkit, which I took out, and some jumper cables. So I'm going to be packing up the van for this little trip. But I need to make sure this guy is charged. Dad and I are going to take the bike and the scooter so we can do a little bit of fun activity pending making sure that Dad's going to be able to do that. And I need to also make sure that my batteries down here are all charged up and packed away. I'm probably not going to take this fan. Instead, I'll take my neck fan with me, but this is going with us for sure. Like I said before, we were planning on taking Dad's van and taking our very first camping trip so he could really get a feel for what he wants to work on. And unfortunately, what happened was yesterday he was in the process of building a couple of extra things that he was very interested in getting finished before we took off. And he had a little bit of an incident where there was a little bit of a slip with a saw, and well, he's okay. He's okay, but he's going to be injured on this trip. So I will be driving and it will take some of the pressure and burden away from that. But also that way he's not having to grip and move and do the most basically. So if you see my dad on this video or any of the future videos of our little trip to Missouri, you're going to see a very interesting version of Dad. But he's okay. Initially, I thought whenever this happened, oh no, this is really bad. And of course, anytime that you have a really bad scenario, you freak out just a little bit. But after spending about 2.5 to maybe 3 hours in the ER, he is okay. And life just happens. So we are moving forward and we have some plans. On my list, I need to replace the battery for my thermometer today before we get on the road because I need to be able to see how warm it is inside the van at all times. I also need to do a few things for myself. Like, for example, I need to cut my hair before I leave. I need to pack my clothes. I need to pack my bathroom bag. And I also need to make sure that I have the things that I need to be able to work while we're gone so that I can download footage to share videos with you guys. So all of those things are on my list. And then it seems as though I'm missing something. Oh yeah, I need to take the stuff out of my van because I have been a busy bee working on home improvement projects. And well, some of them are currently living in the van. So since my van has been able to be a wonderful cargo van and also has not been road ready for a while, this is going to be slightly closer to road ready. And I'm hoping that this is an indicator that I'll be able to do longer trips going forth if I can just figure out some creative solutions in the back, because I still cannot use my back doors regularly. I have opened and closed them a few times because I've needed to put things in the van for like shipping purposes back from places as I've used it as a cargo van. But I've noticed that it's kind of scary. The door the other day got stuck, and that's why I haven't felt comfortable using the van at all until this has been fixed. But after communicating with several people and also kind of talking to the shop, I think it would be okay for me to use the van, just not use the back doors of the van. So I got some rumblings in my brain, which I'll share with you guys later, but we'll see. Before I can do anything though, I'm going through my little planner and making sure I have content scheduled for the entire week while I'm out of town. So that way, if the Wi-Fi is not great, I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I don't have a video. Staying in a hotel, I don't have to take bedding. I don't have to take towels. So that's nice. Those are things that I don't have to worry about. So it lowers the list of expectations. That's very nice. I will be taking shampoo and conditioner, however, because sometimes the hotels don't have the greatest stuff. So I'll put these in my bathroom bag, and I'll probably proceed with my bathroom bag that's very similar to what I have in the van itself. In other words, I'll take my toothbrush, I'll take my toothpaste, I'll take my razor, I'll take my shampoo and conditioner, I'll take my face products, which I've actually changed my skincare routine. So this will be the first time traveling with the skincare routine, so I'll see if it's actually practical. And this is a good testing ground before I do have a meaningful solution to hit the road. So I'm happy about this, but I do have bags for this, so I'll just make it super simple. And I think I'm going to scale down the bag that I use usually whenever I travel and just have like a to-go bag so that I don't have quite as much bulk. I'm also going to take the bare minimum of makeup. I'm not going to take my full makeup kit because it's 4,000 degrees. And so basically the things that I need are just very light items. These are all items that for sure will go. I have my soap, I have Q-tips, my toothbrush. I need to put toothpaste in here still. I probably won't take the entire box, but I did pick this up when we were on the road. I always carry Goody or BC powders. I have my contacts, which I'll probably just take a couple pairs. Castor oil. This is something that I've been using as skincare, and oh my gosh, game changer. Love it. I love this degree. It just works so much better for the Texas heat. I'm hoping the Missouri heat. And of course, because I have a bad back, Icy Hot will always be in my pack. So this is a good start. These are the two products by The Ordinary that I go to the most. This is the glycolic acid toning solution, and then this is the hyaluronic acid serum. Both of these are everyday items for me. Using those two items plus the castor oil has literally taken away the appearance of some of my little tiny fine lines, and I love it. And I'm still working on it, but I'm in my 40s and I always want to feel good, and I found that using these things has really helped with my appearance as a whole. It's helped with my under eyes not being quite so puffy, and in fact feeling softer and less like crazy. I've also found that I have this thing where I do this with this eyebrow, and you could before really see that. I can't see it anymore whenever I'm in my normal position. So I feel like this is a good way to take care of my skin. And then during the day, I use a really nice sunscreen, which I need to also pack. Okay, this is a good one from Bare Republic, and it's a SPF 50. I also use one from Neutrogena that's a SPF 100. I will toy with which one I'll actually take, but skincare is so important. Now, normally I take this big bag, and it's usually my makeup bag, and then I have another one that is my bathroom bag. I'm only going to take one of these and just put everything into that one, because there's really no point in me having two to separate out my things, because this is a very short trip. So all the things I just showed you will be going into that bag, but I'll also probably add like some CBD, like cream to it, so that if I have a really hard day where my feet are hurting, I can put that on and then put some socks on and sleep. That is my go-to for foot health. It really helps. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I might take some Tylenol arthritis because sometimes the Goody or BC powder, it's not really designed for that. And you know, your joints get to hurting when you're moving around and walking up and down mountains. And we're going to a very hilly, mountainy place. So I'll take that probably too, just in a smaller container than I currently have it in. So that, in addition to some just basic makeup, I'll be set. Again, I won't have to worry about a bed because there'll be one in the hotel. So don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about coming up with a curtain solution because I'm not staying in the van. So that gives me a little bit more time to kind of process and think of those ideas. And I'm going to work on some reflectics, I think. And I think that's going to be the best thing. I mentioned that kind of in my dad's video about his van, that he's going to be doing some reflectics. And I want to do them too, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around creating my own reflectics so they can really work. So since I'm not sleeping in the van, don't have to worry about that. Okay, I just looked up the weather, and here it is. So it is going to be super warm. It's not going to be like as hot as it has been in Texas, where it's been triple digits for like so many days I don't even know at this point, but still very warm. So I'm going to make sure that whatever I take, that it's very breathable, and I'll probably steer away from anything that's going to like be sticky material if you get sweaty. Got my camera. Again, going to make sure everything's charged. I'm probably also going to take at least one small tripod. I'm definitely not going to take the big tripod. There's no need for that. So one small tripod, probably the one that goes with this that I have already kind of in my room, in my adventure bag, I'm going to take. And then I need to pick out sunglasses. But in the meantime, I think I've got a good running list. So I'm going to start working on some of these projects, and I'll see you guys whenever I go check my tires in a little bit. Okay, before I can start loading the van up and checking the tires, I got to run some errands. I don't have everything that I need for my base camp. So I've got to go get some things that need to be here to maintain some stuff while I'm gone. My mom's going to be looking over my tiny home while I'm out of town, so Gotta get some more cat food and stuff like that. So that's also on the list before I depart. In the meantime though, there's the van. Sad that we won't be taking it, but we'll be taking it out soon enough to kind of give it a good test run, and that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Oh gosh, it's hot outside. Yeah, super, super hot outside. I will not be sad about getting away from this for just a few days. Just going and getting the bare minimum was just exhausting, and I need to go to bed probably now, realistically, but I'm still nowhere near finished. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and take my refrigerator with me and a battery just so I can have some cold drinks along the way. So I need to load that up. I'm going to wait until it gets a little bit cooler though, because it's just boiling, as you can see. And I went ahead and picked up some Pepsis and then also some waters. So I'm just going to put those in there and get them nice and chilly so we have some like travel drinks. I think that's going to be a good idea. And then also I found something to replace something that I was going to have to throw away. Pants. So I had a pair of athletic like leggings that I really loved that were like buttery soft, and they have been with me for quite some time on my adventures and finally died. So I found these that feel almost the same. They're from Walmart. So I'm going to try them out. If I like them, I'll end up picking up some more. The leggings I'm replacing, I have literally had, I think, since 2019, and they've been some really good leggings, and I really liked how they felt. But recently they popped up a little hole, and I have a couple other pairs that are kind of on the way out also, where they're thinning kind of in the thigh area, or they're just like kind of starting to slowly unravel. So I figured that I would just go ahead and replace them while I have access to do so. So I found those. Big win. So now that puts me one step closer to figuring out what all I need to pack. So I think I'm going to cool off for a little bit and maybe move the van over into the shade so it cannot be quite as boiling hot. And then I'll be able to check the tires in a little bit. And then I will start packing. So this needs to go, and then I need to pack up my computer in a little bit too. Ooh. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's so hot in here. But you know, it's okay. It's okay. This is gonna be a very temporary move just to over under the shade trees. Wow. Oh, you can do it. You can do it. Yep. The little tire light's still on. Okay, gotta do something about that. Oh, also, even though it's only temporary, let's get some air. Okay, I can do this. I can't even see how hot it is in here because my thermometer needs the battery replaced, but wow. As soon as I opened the door, it was like a puff of heat smacked me in the face. Oh, it's pretty miserable. I don't like this at all. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this off, and it's stuck there with just this little gel pad, and it's been there since I mounted it. So I'm gonna have to replace the gel pad because since it's been in the heat, it's gonna have to come off. But yeah, I'm gonna take this apart and then I'll remount it. It has a nice little square of dust there, so I'll know exactly where it goes. But this thing has been super handy. I just picked this up at Walmart, and I picked up one for the back. They have a magnet on them, so the other one I just stick to my shelf, but this has been so handy, especially being able to tell the difference between the back and also the front cab temperatures. Looking at the tires, I don't really see any noticeable like thing except for the fact that they're nasty and dirty. This one's the one that I had to get patched, and obviously this is also the one that I lost the cap on, but it doesn't look low really, so I'll just have to get the gauge out. I'm almost positive they just aired me down. They always tend to air you down just a little bit in the summertime, but unfortunately what that does with my van is it sends the sensors off, and then I just have to like figure out which one it is that's making the sensor do weird stuff. This has happened before and I didn't have anything in the tire, so I'm hoping that's what it is again. Just gonna lay here for a minute right under my air conditioner. Man, this has made going places super hard. Like super, super hard, because being outside is super, super hard. Okay, so I finally got up and I'm cooled off now, and I'm gonna use these little Ipsy bags in order to put some of my things into my bathroom bag, and this is just gonna be my makeup. So if it can't fit in here, it can't go with me. So I'm gonna pare way down on my makeup and just take the bare essentials for if I do need to do something where I'm not wearing sunglasses, so I have eyebrows. That's basically it. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. So what's going in the bag is a very cut down version of my makeup. So basically I'm only taking these brushes right here, and this is going to be for my powder. I'm going to use one for eyeshadow. This is for my brows, and this is for my bronzer. And then for my brows, I actually use an e.l.f. pomade. This you can sculpt out your brows and have a really nice contour, and then a setting powder that goes with it. I'm gonna take this tiny eyeshadow palette that just has 4 colors to it. I didn't see the point in taking a big one. We're going to be outside most of the time. This is only if we end up going somewhere, again, where I don't need sunglasses. This is my favorite go-to lip color. Everyone likes this on the channel, and it's just the Ofra Oh My Riri. I wear it almost every time that you see me wearing lipstick. It's this one. I like the Sky High mascara. It's just a nice buildable mascara that also doesn't run down your face. This tiny little pencil right here, I just put under my eyebrows, so this gives me a nice open looking eye. And then this is a contour stick, which I use just to kind of give myself a little bit of color because, you know, sometimes you're a little uneven. These are my 3 face products. I always start off with a Poreless Putty Primer by e.l.f. I really like how this works on my skin. Even though it's like hot and sweaty time, this still works really well. And then I'm going to pair it with a Wet n Wild foundation. This is just a matte finish. And the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This is just something that really makes me appear super, super even. And again, even if I'm sweating, this does pretty well. It probably seems like a lot, but at the same time, that's just a bare minimum makeup routine. That's a no makeup look. And I use that on top of sunscreen. So I put my sunscreen and my skincare on, and then I use these things. And what that does is keep my skin from getting like overexposed to any kind of sun. It just acts as a barrier. So I always try to wear those things if I can, if I'm going to some place that I'm going to be going inside and outside. Now, whenever I'm going to a couple of the adventures, there will be not a stitch of makeup on my face because it's just going to be too hot because they're just going to be outside. But if I'm kind of coming and going, I try to do that the best I can. So I'm going to put all those in my little bags, and then they go in my Toiletries bag, and then I'm finished with that part. In way of preparing, I always over prepare. It's just how I am. I've learned by not having things at times that it's super inconvenient. So in way of these kinds of things, even though I'm not taking as much as I would if I was on the road, I could survive if I was stuck somewhere. And that's the key, especially with like the medical supplies. I have a travel medical supply kit, but I also have one that goes inside with me that has just the essentials like Band-Aids and tweezers and stuff like that, just in case, because you never know when you're going to need something like in that moment. So that part's finished. I just need to take this into the other room, and then when it cools off, I'll put it in the van. Okay, so now it's time for me to start doing the actual packing itself. Now, I'm going to be gone from Monday until Friday. Maybe a little bit longer, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna take probably about 6 sets of clothes. And the reason for that is we're gonna get hot and sweaty, probably being outside. I might wanna change so I don't feel gross. I'm gonna take at least one outfit that I could wear if I need to put on a layer because we're going in somewhere, because a lot of times the air conditioners are super cold. And so having a layer is nice. And then also just so that I don't look like a scrub for the day. And then I'm gonna take, of course, my pajamas and stuff like that. So this is going to be interesting, mostly athleisure, but one nicer outfit. But that nicer outfit needs to be able to use the same shoes that I'm taking for my athleisure. So I'm kind of thinking that because we're going to do some like outdoorsy things, I'm going to take a pair of shoes that can get kind of grimy, and then maybe a pair that doesn't look so grimy. I think that's where I'm gonna go with this, or maybe a pair of sandals. Also, this is all charged up. Both of them are now. So yay, those can be loaded up as soon as it's not 4,000 degrees. Now, normally I drive in slides. So instead of taking my slides, I may just take my sandals and wear my sandals to drive in. I like my feet to have the freedom of moving and wiggling my toes. It just improves your circulation as a whole, as opposed to having a closed toe shoe for like hours on the road. So I have a couple different pairs of sandals, and I'll figure out which one I'm going to take, which one makes more sense. So that's on the agenda also. Also going to take this just so I can put all the dirty clothes in it. I usually have this in my van anyway. This is how I keep up with my dirty clothes. So I'm going to set it on the bed with the other things, so I'll already know it's going with me. Socks, Check. Now here's the bad part of having a tiny home. I have a lot of clothes, and in my van I fold all these. So right now I have all the shirts that normally are in my van, plus all of the shirts that are normally already in my closet that I kind of rotate. Some of these I need to replace. I need to now go through these and figure out which ones I need to replace and then take those out of the closet. This also contains winter clothes like jackets, like this jacket that I picked up for this winter because I found it on a really good sale and they had it in my size, so I bought it early. But it needed a place to go, so it had to go in here. I think one of the craziest things that people think is that, oh, I just live out of my van, but in all reality, I moved from an apartment where I had a ton of stuff because I was very happy with clothing and shopping, to a tiny home where I have a much smaller stuff and I've purged a lot of stuff out. But in the meantime, I still have a lot of clothes because that's the one thing that is the hardest to go through, because clothes attach to memories and things and I can still wear them, and that's the problem. It would be so much easier if I couldn't fit into them because I'd be like, oh, I can't wear this, bye. But I can still wear t-shirts and I love t-shirts. So I just kind of periodically like rotate through. But I have pretty much a set amount of travel t-shirts that I wear because they're activity-based t-shirts. They're not like concert tees or things like that. So yeah, it's just kind of weird when they're all in the house together instead of living in the van also. So I'm gonna make some quick work of this and go through and find some of my favorites, and I'll just wear them and deal with this on the tiny channel at a later time because I think I'm gonna get overwhelmed. Okay, go with me on this journey. I have an idea. Obviously this thing is super wrinkled right now, but it doesn't really matter when I wear it because it kind of like evens it out. But I was thinking maybe taking one pair of like wide-legged cute pants and then just like a little undershirt and wearing this on top with a hat. Again, I go back to I want one outfit that doesn't look like I'm in athletic wear, and I think that would be super fun. And I really like my wide-legged pants because they're super comfortable. And if I got this one, I could wear my lighter colored sandals with it and it would make sense. And then that could be the pair of sandals that I take with me because I really like those. Okay, so this is my thoughts. Again, it's not gonna really matter if it's kind of wrinkly or not. It's kind of the look, but with the wide pants and then just the high waist on it with the little tank, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. Of course, it looks crazy right now because I don't have any makeup. My hair needs to be cut and I don't have on a hat, but I think this is gonna be my fancy look and it'll go really well with my sandals, and it's very lightweight, breathable material. And well, you know what I say, always have lightweight, breathable things for summer. Okay, putting regular shoes on again and then going outside. These are probably the shoes that I'll take with me to Missouri, so this is perfect. And yeah, going outside to check my tire pressure now. Might I add, it is now 7 o'clock at night and I have only lost 2 degrees of temperature. So it is 105 currently. We're gonna make this as fast as possible. Okay, unlocking, and then I'm just gonna reach through and turn on the van so I can use the ports. Okay. Ugh. And here's everything. I still need to take all this stuff out, but I'll do that in a minute. Starting off strong. Gotta plug this guy in. While I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and just put my jack under the seat, and then also my shovel, because I wanted to keep both these things in here, but this will keep them from sliding. And then I'll end up putting the thing that I'm about to use under the other side over there. Starting off with this tire that's kind of problematic, I'll just pull the cap off and then I'll plug it in and see how much it has. Okay, it's on and it looks like it has 48 pounds of pressure. Cold tire, 48. Okay, so that's correct, but I'll see if the others are like that too, I guess. If you're ever in doubt of how much you're supposed to put in your van, there's usually a little sticker inside the driver's side door that tells you how much you're supposed to have. So that makes it super easy. So 48, that's correct. Okay, now I'm gonna check the next one, I guess. Aha! We don't have enough on this one, so it needs to be aired up to 44. Nope, the light's still on. It'd be so much nicer if my van was smart enough to just be like, hey, it's this tire, but no, my van's not that smart. Okay, I think I found the big problem. Back tire, 39. It's supposed to be at 48. So that would definitely trip the sensor. And I don't know that they aired me down, but it's interesting that 2
of the tires have been at 39 now. Huh, very, very interesting. Either way, I'm gonna set it, I'm gonna get it to 48, then we'll see if the light goes off. Okay, so I set it for 48, and then on we go. In theory. I don't know what's going on. There it is. Okay, we're gonna give it a minute. It's gonna take a minute. Man, this is why if you go to different places to get your oil changed, you always have to tell them if you have already pre-done your tires. Because a lot of times, especially during the summer months, they would rather under air them than over. But in my particular van, if you do that, it gets very angry and very particular. Sure enough, that was it. Okay, so we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and check the other tire just to make sure, but that's what was going on. Of course, I carry this with me, so I'll be carrying it on my trip, and if I notice that it's doing this again, I'll get it fixed on the road, but I don't see anything in the tire, and it hasn't lost a substantial amount of air, and it's really interesting that they're the same amount of air missing, which means they probably did air me down. Okay, I just put a new battery in this, and so now I need to cut a new gel pad for it to put it in the van. And so what I did the last time was just kind of cut it into a little bit of a quarter, and so that's what I'm probably going to do again. So I'll just cut it down the middle. And these gel pads I found on Amazon, and I use them for a variety of different things in my van because they're a great anti-slip surface. But for this specifically, it has worked out so well because one of these little gel pads can hold up for a substantial amount of time as long as the surface is clean below it. So I'm just going to press this onto the back like this and really push it in. That's what the key was to keeping it fully functional, was to really just push this in and let it be part of it. And then as you can see, it's working now. This is the one I still have to change out. And on these, all I do is just take like a key or scissors, either one, and I just kind of take it and put it into this little hole. Usually it's a smaller key, so like this key right here, put it in this hole, and then it pops right up, and then it kind of, it's one of those things that it feels like it's gonna break, but it just actually lets loose eventually. So I gotta do that on this side too, and as it loosens up, then you can pull it apart. It's kind of sticking a little bit, but there it is. And then here is where the battery is, so you can just kind of maneuver that out. Of course, all of these things are things I have to do in order to just get on the road, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, now I peel the back piece off of the gel pad, so it reveals the sticky part. Then I'll just put it into the same spot that I had it before, and again, push it in. It's all about the push. It needs to be in there nice and strong, and this will allow me to see how warm it is. It's already starting to go up from what it was inside. By the time I get back out here, it'll give us a true readout of temperature, and I'm sure it's gonna be super warm. Like super, super warm. Definitely. Okay, on to the next thing. And just while I've been sitting here in this brief second, look at this. Takes it a little bit to catch up. It's already going up though. Oh, but that's neither here nor there. I have to turn the van on, and I'm gonna back it up so I can unload the things that I do have in the van to make it easier. Okay, this should be close enough. I'm just gonna take it out and put it directly in my yard because it's all for my yard anyway. And again, in that short amount of time, we went up again. It's now 92 degrees, and it was literally just me moving from right there to here. This is why I'm not looking forward to reloading the van as a whole. And this is why I haven't been encouraged to even attempt to do so, because it is hard right now. Everything that is normally very easy is very hard. And I don't like to be super complainy because it's just not in my nature. This, I don't think, is complaining. This is unnatural. This is not normal. This is not something that is common. And I think a lot of people think it's super hot here, and it is super hot here. And normally it's in like the 90s, but it's been consecutive back-to-back days of over 100 for over a month and a half, maybe 2 months now. It's just not cool. Now here comes the real test. Will the door open at all? Again, I'm not supposed to be using the doors a ton. However, I do need to make sure that the latching mechanism is clean so that it can close and lock from the inside so I don't have to worry about anything. And so this will be the one time I attempt. Oh no, it's doing the thing again. It's doing the thing again. That it sticks like this. Oh, finally. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things about my van and how I should be using it and how I should keep my setup. and I've heard a lot of people give me a lot of input. And I'm a nice, upbeat person. And I just hope you understand it's not normal right now. And that's why I've been super hesitant to do anything regarding my back doors. And that's why it makes it impossible for me to use my setup that I previously had, and why I've been stressing myself out trying to figure out how I can get back on the road in a safe and productive way. It's really discouraging. And with this heat, it has gotten progressively worse, and it's really stressful. I'm going to clean the latch. I'm going to make sure everything is good. I'm going to make sure it closes and that it locks. And that way I can feel safe with my van going out into the world, and people not just having the ability to pop it open because it can't latch correctly. But this is just one of the steps. And one of my major things that I've really been putting a lot of time and energy and effort into figuring out, because it doesn't look like the parts are coming in anytime soon. So this trip is an experiment on if this is gonna work or not. So for the time being, this is what my van looks like. In all reality, it looks a lot different. It's hard to believe that my living place was in here, but you can see the outline of where my bed was and my shelf. And all of this is gonna look different going forward if I do decide to travel again, because again, my bed would sit here, and I'd need to open this door and the other door. And now, as you can see, I can't. Like I said, I've been super stressed. But I've still had meaningful adventures. Taking this on day trips has been awesome, and I've really enjoyed it. But there are a few things coming up that, if this works out, might kind of change my perspective. So that's kind of what I'm looking at and kind of finding joy in. In life, you have to pivot a lot. Even on this trip, we've pivoted. I mean, we were going to take Dad's van over there because he's been doing so much, and he wanted to kind of have like a moment to figure out what exactly he wanted to tweak, if anything. And then he got injured, so we had to pivot. And then I'm doing this with the intention of learning a little bit more about how this experience will work, so I can possibly pivot. The life that we live is crazy, let me tell you. But I've got a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna do that so I can get out of the heat. Okay, van's empty. It was hot. It was super hot. I'm gonna cool off for a couple minutes, then I'm gonna take the fridge out there. I'm currently also charging a power station to power the fridge with, so it should be ready before long. So I'm one step closer. Okay, I have these little ammo boxes that I've used in the past, and they're really good. I have this one that I didn't have my podcast mic in currently, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it for the bicycle chargers, and this will just stay in the van unless I do need to charge the bikes, in which case I have the stuff. Normally this would be under my bed or on the shelf, but it's just gonna be kind of free for now. And the bikes aren't gonna have the same support either, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to lay them down so that they don't move around a whole lot. Not ideal, but at the same time, this will work for the time being. And that way we can get out and just do some like fun stuff and not have to really stress about it a whole lot. Okay, judgment call is about to be made. I have the Pecron, which is a rapid charge power station, and the VTO Min, so Vitamin, and it's a regular charge power station. So the Pecron charged faster, so it's going with me. And I guess I'm gonna put its cord in the ammo box also. I was hoping to take this one, but it's gonna take a little while longer to charge, so I'm just gonna leave this one behind, and I'll take it on my next adventure for sure after I've gotten it fully charged. A large reason why I test the power stations that I do is so I can compare them, and I will say that the Pecron charges much faster than this other power station. So there's a little feedback, but I'll give you a full, like, all-out review of the other power station very soon. I've been using it a lot around base camp, and I've got some good things to say about it. But this is the one thing that I will say, it definitely leaves a little bit to be desired on. Of course, safety is always first, so I have my bike helmet in here, so I'm just gonna put it in the back also. And now I'll load up the battery and the fridge and the rest of my safety equipment, and that should be it for that kind of stuff. So I'm making progress, and then all I'll have to do is get my computer and my actual things that I'm gonna wear, and I'm almost finished with that. I've actually made some good progress. So yeah, all the moving parts just to get on the road. Okay, got that. I'm gonna put these inside and just let them kind of hang out until in the morning, and then I'll turn this on in the morning so that way it's not running overnight, because it doesn't really have to. So yay! I will go ahead and take these out of the individual holders though, just so that we don't have to worry about that. And this should be way easier to deal with on the road in case we want to reach back and grab some drinks. And then I'll add waters in the morning also. It's a good start right there. It's a very good start. Oh wow, 101. Yeah, it's just really hot. The positive is I don't have much more. Thank goodness. Now most of the stuff that I need to do is all inside. And I think you can see I'm really happy about that. Okay, before I take a shower, while I'm cooling off a little bit, let's assess things. I have my adventure equipment. I have my helmet. I'm just waiting on my dad to load his things. I have all of the things for safety and security that I might need, all packed below, nothing packed above, because I'm not doing roof box items until I actually hit the road. I also have my refrigerator, I have a battery, I have cords for all of those things, so that part is good. I need to pack my clothes, and I also need to make sure that I have all my camera equipment. Otherwise, I'm finished. This is awesome, and I'll be ready to go in the morning bright and early because our check-in time is about 4 o'clock, but we want to do some adventuring on the way, which of course I'll share on some upcoming videos with you. I think you're really going to enjoy this time, and well, you'll get to see my dad's little boo-boo somewhere along the way. But I think with that said, since everything's pretty much loaded except for my clothing, and we kind of talked about what I'm going to be taking, I guess I'm going to wrap this up because, well, there's not much else to do. It's been a very rewarding day of getting ready in the burning up heat, but also I've been checking out the maintenance, updating things, and if this goes well, then some things could be brewing in my brain. Maybe. We'll see. We will see. Remember, guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, and I am so ready to get on the road and have a good time, and I hope that you'll enjoy coming with me. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!